welcome. And when I put the name of this part, I was thinking it's a contest of the longest name of the part. So I wrongly understood the maximum length of the title as a minimum one. So you can see almost one Twitter post long name. In this blog would be much more fair that it's about marriage. It's about marriage, and I will share the story about marriage, but a little bit strange one. Imagine marriage between a technology geek using iPhone, iPads, whatsoever on one side. Then quite modest Cinderella, happy with the Nokia phone, sitting in the corner and waiting until the parents arrange the marriage. So we have a marriage arranged by parents of technological geek, modest Cinderella, and third totally different person. And about this marriage of three people, I will try to share the story. How many of you moved recently in last 1 or 2 years from flat to flat, from flat to house? 1, 2, 3. Oh, half of us. We have a saying in our country, je lepší vyhořet, než se stěhovat, which can be translated, it's better to burn the house down than to move to another one. And we went through the merger of 3 companies, and decided to help to burn the legacy with moving into different houses. And I was responsible for this initiative. And when the board of directors asked me find some soft, slightly way how to make it non-violent, I said, okay, and then I burned the house, almost my health, and that I will share a little bit too. Well, I'm Jakub. My surname Heikenwälder comes from Germany. My family comes from Austria, and I'm coming from beautiful city of Brno in Czech Republic, South Moravia. I have now 2 beautiful children, which helped a lot during this project. So you see them checking the new carpets in the offices. They were helping me, and I was helping my wife taking the kids to the office on weekends to check the progress. And I'm now in UNIQA financial group, Austrian financial group, and I'm responsible for corporate culture, employee experience, and things connected to these areas. We are located in 15 countries, mainly the Central, Eastern Europe and Balkans countries. Year 2020 started as a quite normal one. We were looking for Olympics, we were looking for some slight changes maybe in our company, and then 3 big events appeared in 3 weeks, one by another. First of all, the merger was announced that the AXA Finance Group, where I was located for 8 years, decided to sell the entities in Czech Republic, Slovak Republic and Poland all together to UNIQA Financial Services. That was a bomb. Nobody expected. There was a lot of frustration, uncertainty. What does it mean for former AXA employees in these three locations? But luckily for the company, the COVID came to our country, and the shock from the merger after 6 days was replaced by shock out of the COVID. So we put one shock after another shock, and then to make it much more easy for me, because I was shocked from the merger, from the COVID, my wife announced that we are expecting baby. So you can simply solve the shock, putting another shock on that. But I was happy from the last one. But of course, a lot of concerns, having baby during the COVID, a lot of uncertainties, health issues, etc. So suddenly, within 3 weeks, peacefully year 2020 turned into roller coaster, and we could not imagine how big the loops will be. From point of cultural transformation and integration, COVID helped. We, from week to week, we went for total home office. Our offices were locked. We started the integration. So we started 27 integration streams. How many of you went through some kind of merger? of this size. So maybe you can imagine 27 streams. So we spent on average 10 hours per day on Teams calls, sitting at home. Somebody improvise more, somebody less, because having some better equipment at home. But what totally disappeared were the kitchens, were the coffee talks, were the corridors meeting. So we had no way. We didn't have Microsoft Teams at the beginning of the merger. We implemented during the COVID times. We, instead of email or direct calls, we don't have any chance to share the concerns, share the news, share the gossips, share the hoaxes. We were simply fully working, and our feelings towards the culture were something like frozen, totally stuck, and a lot of our mindset kept in the status of beginning of 2020 year. And we will get to it later. With some of the impacts of this fact, we are now still fighting in current situation. So COVID helped with the focus on work, on legal merger, technical merger, insurance merger, moving all these capitals between the countries, but we did totally zero progress on the cultural side on what kind of company are we going to create. We had a lot of legacy basically everywhere. One of the three companies was this geek, huge investments in IT, and the iPhone became a symbol of this company because all of the managers had an iPhone as a working tool. Quite normal thing, you would say. But for the other company, the modest Cinderella, using Nokia phone and being proud that I'm cheap, I don't want iPhone because it's so expensive, it was the first and for many months long dispute between the managers what should be the standard on working phones. Are we going for iPhones, for Samsung, Huawei? Are we returning to Nokia because it's so cheap? So the symbol of these phones took us 6 to 7 months to solve what will be the standard of our phones. You can imagine other areas, remuneration policies, standard of the offices, company cars, who will have what kind of car, etc. So the legacy of these three members of this strange marriage. UNIQA Insurance in Slovakia. Proud, independent company, 350 people, proud to be independent on Vienna headquarters, especially proud to be independent on Czech Republic, because maybe you know, we've been in the past one state together, Czechoslovakia, then we peacefully split, and some of the companies are now joining back Czechoslovakia, because we can understand both languages without any translation, so it makes sense, we are quite small markets. But some of the companies keep separate Slovakia and Czech. So Slovakia, very proud to be independent, sitting in beautiful new building, reconstructed in 2018, and being quite happy, big family living in Slovakia, but independently. On the other hand, UNIQA Czech Republic, proud company with long legacy, living happily in Prague, capital of Czech Republic, and former Czechoslovakia, living in the old building on a big hill, looking down on the whole state, and somewhere on the Slovakia as a separate state. One big family having the one CEO for 20 years, who is able to name all the employees by their name, knows everyone, and we are one happy family living in Prague and managing for 20 years this insurance business. Another strong legacy. AXA being together as an entity of Czechoslovakia, part of the French financial corporate with these huge investments in technology, having the iPhones, having better company cars, being something Frenchy, I would say, how the Czech and Slovak environment allowed, and went through this integration of Czech and Slovak market like 15 years ago. So being international and being part of the worldwide financial group, instead of UNIQA being European financial group, with much open culture, and totally zero differences between Czech and Slovak market. So 3 different legacy, and this EXA 500 people. So we were merging in total 1,500 people and 1,500 more sales agent in the field altogether. So 3,000 people with different legacy. And of course, our companies were competitors in basically almost all the markets: car insurance, house insurance. We were supplements in some investment field. The decision was made that we need a new beginning. We somehow need to close the heritage. We need to start new. And one of the stream was stream focused on buildings, where we want to live. So we decided, okay, the marriage is somehow strange, but the parents arrange it, so we will move in. We don't know each other, but we will move in. That's a good idea how to start a relationship. So we went from 7 different buildings in 5 locations in 2 states, quite dramatically, to 5. So you see, it's not dramatic at all, but it took a lot of effort and a lot of energy to somehow survive. We started, and now I see the step. I will show you the steps we went through, and then some measurement. We started to align on beliefs to discuss with the new board, who never met in person because of COVID, so via online. The board members and I facilitated this discussion to align what are our beliefs towards the future of work. So you see, they are somehow generic, and but it was still a huge step forward for some parts of the company. So to agree that work is no more place but activity with results was extremely hard. And you imagine, you are sitting at home, everybody's sitting at home, working from home for 2 or 3 months, and you still have half of the board arguing that work is a place. And you are sitting at home and working, and you are asking, okay guys, so are we working or are we just talking? And still you have half of the board pushing back that you have to go to office to produce some work outcomes. Second hybrid way is here and will stay. So there were different options how long COVID will take, but we've seen that it's inevitable that we will somehow combine. And the third one, we want people to be successful no matter where they are working, and we want to be successful in professional and personal ways. So that's where all the initiatives with mental support and things like that started too. So we agreed on principles. What we've got from the headquarters, from Austria, were some kind of principles towards the culture. You know them. Basically, every company has very similar ones. Who has customer first as a company value? Okay, small part. Simplicity, quite famous during this time. Thank you. Yeah, and that's how we can address them. So we translated, say, okay, we have 5 culture principles, culture dimensions, but how we want to implement them. We said the employees will be our customers. We did the personas, mapped the pains, gains, jobs needed, designed the employee, the customer journey throughout the buildings, and try to focus on the needs of the employees. We said the responsibility for us is the ecological principle. So we removed a lot of garbage from the offices, and we asked the designers to use the wooden materials and use the principles of taking environmental approach into our offices. And we translated the responsibility like ownership on the users of the offices. So provide multiple different zones, multiple different areas where you can work, but putting the responsibility on the employees, where they will work, how they will use these premises. Community, we translated into a lot of parts who supported formal and informal meetings. It was very hard because we were during the COVID, not knowing when we will return, but we tried to think about how to support the communities, how to support the meetings. Probably you know the story about this Apple campus being in the circle, that for basically every meeting you need to cross the central point, which is supporting people to meetings, to meet the colleagues. So we tried to do not such a big campus, but something small in our premises. Simplicity. We tried to put the rules to minimum, just to explain, just to show how we will see the value of simplicity in everyday use. We are still struggling that, like automatic login on Wi-Fi and all these IT-related issues are not as simple as it could be. The reservation system, still a lot of room for improvement, but we try to implement the simplicity in these areas too. And integrity, very tough for us. 3 strong, total different legacies. We agreed that for all the locations, we will provide the same equipment, we will provide the same principles on reservations, same priorities, or same 0 priorities on parking, on meeting rooms, etc. And that was very tough to stick to this principle during the implementation. We found a name. We found a name that UNIQA is House of Care and Wellbeing, so not House of the Dragon or other houses, but House of Care and Wellbeing. And we prepare to, on the hard side, preparing the layouts, preparing the furniture, etc., and providing some supporting things. And now we are slightly returning after the first waves of COVID. So people start to return, and we try to invite with some healthy breakfast, etc. We put technology in place, and what we put in place was sharing. Desk sharing, parking spaces sharing, basically everything sharing. Everything was sharing, and that was crucial point, because it was new for all the 3 entities. None of them was sharing before. There were different approaches to managerial's office, board members' offices, meeting rooms, etc. But still, each and every employee has dedicated desk, dedicated kingdom, the pictures of the family you can imagine. And where we decided what will be the crucial point to break the legacy and make everyone feeling same, in this case same unhappy, was to introduce desk sharing, full desk sharing everywhere, with exception of the board members, which still I see as one of my big losses during this journey. But we introduce the desk sharing. So I share, you share, everybody share, desk share. Not only the technologies, but this was the crucial point where everything was new. So where we were asked by the business to support the manager, we are after first wave of COVID, people try to return. The legal part of merger is being done, the technological is somehow progressing, and suddenly people start to meet in the corridors. They have to abandon their old offices, and they start meet new people, strange people, somebody in t-shirt, somebody having a tie, and we need to support the merger from the cultural point of view. So we start organizing not only the healthy breakfast, but unhealthy dinners and things like that, because the food and games always work. We tried and had to explain over and over about this desk sharing, because some people returned after 12, 16, 18 months to the office, and they expected everything will be like before. And it wasn't, and we had to say and be strong, and together with our management board to say, we are not returning back. It's not possible. We went from 1,500 desks to 900 desks, distributed in these five cities. So it wasn't even possible to return to the old normal. So we had to say that's a new normal, and it will last with us. So we cooperated with transformation office, integration office, and all these streams, and try to support their effort in integration. One of the rules connected with desk sharing, like bring everybody in new situation, was that everybody has to move. So all the managers, all the teams, even though they stayed at the same building, had to change the location. Ideally the floor, at least on the floor to the separate wing or something like that. So during the edge of 2020 and 2021, everyone was moved. For some of them it was few meters, for some of them was hundreds of kilometers, but everyone moved. So nobody could say, I am at the same place I was before. For us, another important symbol that we are a new company. Yeah, in practice, we divided in 2 streams. We made a relocation, because in Prague and Bratislava, the capital cities, we moved from multiple buildings to 1 building, and it was quite logistic exercise how to move, what teams when to move inside the buildings, all these access badges not working correctly, etc. You can imagine moving 300, 400, 500 people, a lot of these vans full of boxes. The crucial one, keep an eye on this box, is the most critical material ever. A lot of these boxes are still closed in my office because nobody wants them. So like you are moving from one house to another house, you can imagine that you will find a lot of boxes you will never open again. So it was mainly the relocation. In Brno, where the building kept as it is, it was a reconstruction. So here we stayed at the same building, but we changed the floors for everyone. Some people want the sunny side, so they are looking at the sun. Some have the side to the patio, but with the desk sharing, you can book another desk and see the sun again. So that's what we are trying to introduce to our colleagues. We put the principles and the explanation on the wall. So not only the principles, but what does it mean for us? What does it mean in particular areas of the building? How we want to work with that. Throughout the whole process, we did different measurements. We did flex check readiness before we started this principles implementation. So we asked how are people using the home office, how they can imagine they will use it, what kind of technology support they need, etc. So we were prepared how much it will cost, how difficult it will be to go for a hybrid mode of working. We asked about and supporting by training the skills and the soft skills connected to remote working and to hybrid working. And during the whole year and a half of moving and changes, we used the pulse survey. So we asked the people how they are feeling, how towards the integration as a whole, towards the moving, etc. Quite interesting thing on this measurement was that the first 3-4 rounds, we've seen big differences between the companies of origin. You see here that UNIQA, AXA had different numbers, and basically in all the questions, we are so different because the story about the marriage was told different way to different participants of this marriage. So some part of the party expected that we will receive iPhones too, because they have iPhones. Some party was expected, okay, let's sell their iPhones, but buy the Nokias for everyone, and that was just the beginning. Quite successful was the point when for 5th round of the pulse, we received more or less the same results. And we've seen from not only from this pulse survey, from different interviews, focus groups, etc., that we are now so mixed that the results are the same, no matter of the company of origin. And that was the point where we stopped asking, are you from UNIQA, Slovak, UNIQA Czech, are you from AXA, or whatsoever you are? Because we found out and data confirmed that at least from the point of happiness/unhappiness of our employees, we reached the point where we are on the same boat. We are basically same, no matter of of the company of origin, people are complaining to reservation system, and it's still valid. Complaining to coffee, but that's valid everywhere, I would say. And appreciating the same things: informal meeting zones, new approach to meeting rooms, new technology equipment, the unification of system, etc. And at this point, we closed the project and seen the integration support from the point of relocation, moving, redesigning the office as somewhat successful, with a lot of learnings. And now we are monitoring, now we are improving, but we are no more asking if you are coming from UNIQA side, AXA side, or some different companies. We are all together. We are fighting the issues all together and trying to be the place, be the office where you like to come if you want to. So that's the situation in 2022, and end of this speech. And I believe we have some roundtables. So I promise that on my roundtable I am paying for the first bottle of wine. That was the invitation, and I'm handing over. Thank you very much.